everyone, what's going on? I'm Zach Ryan, and I'm joined by my friend Lucy O'Brien. And Lucy, it seems like we're up to our necks in Resident Evil news these days.
Yeah, it's an onslaught.
We just got news that there's the potential Resident Evil television series in the works.
Yeah, which is wild. I mean, we knew that there was a potential reboot movie series in the works, but this is a Netflix series it's a brand new sort of thing. It's a complete surprise.
So you and I kind of were talking about this a minute ago, and we sort of have differing opinions in what we think about this news. So it is a Netflix series, which is the good news. It's from Constantine Productions, which has been responsible for the previous Resident Evil films, which I'm a little bit leery on, like a little bit iffy about.
I mean, I think most people are.
Right, and so their statement is that, or rather the statement from Deadline Hollywood, who broke the story, says that this is loosely based on the Capcom series, and it will explore the dark inner workings of the Umbrella Corporation and the New World Order created by the outbreak of the T-Virus. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some theories that we might have as to whether or not this is a good move for the franchise or a bad move for the franchise. So why don't you kick us off, because you seem like you have a good idea about it. So
I mean, I think all in all, it's a good move to. And again, we're coming back to this word loosely based. I love the idea that we're going to see, all of the classic Resident Evil characters, hopefully, as we did in the movie series. But again, the actual video game lore is so convoluted.
Right.
And often very repetitive.
Okay.
I think that the only way you can really make Resident Evil fresh and interesting is to play it fast and loose.
Okay.
And again, I like the idea of exploring the Umbrella Corporation a little bit more, as outside of the sort of the heroes trying to make it in a like hostile world. I like the idea of exploring like the dark inner workings a little bit more. So yeah, I hope that what they do is they're faithful to the characters that we know and love. They're faithful to the sort of the core of the franchise. But I like the idea that they're able to take some liberties there. Yeah,
I think that the idea of being faithful to the franchise is super important, but I think the thing about the previous series of films that always bothered me was like they got so far away from the story in the video games. They moved so far away from the Umbrella Corporation. They got into this like weird like apocalyptic scenario. It was just like telling a very, very different story where like I like the story of the Spencer Mansion. I like the story of the Ashfords, the family that started the Umbrella Corporation, and those characters and how they kind of intermingle with all of each other throughout the course of the Resident Evil story. So I wonder if there's a way to base the overall arc on those characters, on those stories, but have it be a little less convoluted and a little more succinct for like a long-running television series. Something similar to like The Walking Dead, maybe not necessarily the later seasons, but the way that The Walking Dead took the source material and kind of spun it, which I think could be an interesting take. So
yeah, I mean, I think the primary issue that I have with the films, that I've always had with the films, is tonally they're just like bonkers. Do you know what I mean? Like they're action movies, totally, basically, and they're very much set. They're a product of their time. Right. You look at the original Resident Evil, like the first couple of sequels. They're kind of embarrassing. Oh yeah. Like they're really dorky.
They're like the very definition of a B movie.
Yeah, so, exactly. So I really like the idea of taking Resident Evil and again more Walking Dead like make it a bit grimmer, a little bit grimier. Yeah. Not too grimy because The Walking Dead just became very exhausting. Grimy. Yeah. But yeah, like just toning it down a little bit would be nice.
Or completely the opposite direction, and if we're talking about focusing on the inner workings of the Umbrella Corporation, something along the lines of like The Office, but it's about zombies.
I mean, that's another take, and
I'm kidding. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know what you think about this Resident Evil TV series in the comments below, and for everything else Resident Evil, you're already in the right place. IGN.